What's up? Bradley Aiden Johnson here, and I got an email which is full of so many misconceptions that I'm not going to read the whole email. I'm just going to put it in the description here, so if you want to read it, check it out. But I'm going to go from misconception to misconception. First of all, I'm going to read the first paragraph because it's nice. I hope you're well. A friend of mine recommended you to me. I've watched your YouTube videos. They're great and your journey is very inspirational. How did you get started and how did you know what you were doing, eating the training was the right thing to get the results that you have? Your transformation is amazing. First of all, I had no idea that what I was doing was right, and neither should you. You shouldn't wait to get it right before you start. You just start and keep going, and as you're going, make it more right. It's when you're in a bad way, which is where most people are that come to this channel. They're, not training or not training much or missing frequently training or doing all that stuff and not eating right. You know what you're doing that's, making you fat and weak. And you know that a little bit of extra training, going a little bit harder in the gym, doing a little bit more cardio maybe if you want to do cardio, and eating and paying slight attention to what you're eating and not just, getting to the end of the day and going, let me get a pizza or something. Once you move from that to that, you're going to get gains. You know that. Everyone knows that. You don't need me to tell you that. After that, as you keep going and start experiencing gains, you want more gains, and more gains. So you investigate a few things. Work out, why does this happen? Why did I lose weight on this? What you learn about calories. After learning about calories, you learn about macros. After learning about macros, you learn about lifting, and you find out that the weights you've been lifting aren't heavy enough, maybe, or you've been doing too high reps, or you've been giving too much or too little rest between days or something. And you just nip and tuck and you keep going. That's the trick. You don't start perfectly. No one starts perfectly. And if you do start perfectly, the chances are you just wasted a whole heap of time researching what you could have just been lifting and getting more gains. Okay, you said you've changed the way that you eat. You eat 5 to 6 meals a day, high protein, low carbs, and cut out all refined and processed foods. Completely unnecessary. It's good for you if it's working for you, keep going. But it does later say that it's not working for you so much anymore. The 5 to 6 meal a day thing is foolishness. Do it if you want, don't do it if you don't. Doesn't matter how many times a day you eat, body doesn't care. High protein, low carbs will probably make you lose weight, but within reason. It's not just in of itself it will make you lose weight. It's due to the thermic effects of protein that the body struggles to get energy from protein more than it struggles to get them from carbs. But that doesn't mean that you should eat high protein and low fat, definitely, because you could still just eat less calories and totally different foods with high protein, high carbs and low protein and still experience fat loss. Also, the refined processed foods thing, that whole clean eating this way, don't eat these foods are bad, these foods are good, these foods are healthy, these ones are unhealthy, is all crap. Ignore all of that. If you're something that you like and you can eat it within your calories and not be at a surplus, you will of course lose weight or at least stay the same at maintenance. The idea that like refined and processed foods are just bad of themselves is foolishness again. The idea that the body needs nutrients like to infinity. Like if you eat something ever that's not full of iron and vitamin A and B, that it's just bad, it's going to do something bad to you. We have a minimum requirement of these micronutrients. Once you hit it, it's fine. Everything you eat does not need to be loaded with macros. Completely false. What other misconceptions are in there? What is the badge method, you asked? That's not really a misconception, it is a question. The badge method is utilizing science to control the shape of your engine. Basically, it's taking all of the mental stuff, the guesswork, and just using pure science to assess and change the body emotionless. That is my badge method. It's eating to macros, setting macros, understanding the body's physiological responses to certain dietary conditions and training conditions, predicting, expecting your weight and the way it will change and the way in which you recomposition muscle and shed body fat, and understanding training science and exercise science to the point of being able to maximize gains and exercise properly to the greatest performance and safest. There you go. That was a really short clip of what badge method is. Badge method is also nothing original. I don't give you anything original. I hate original things in the fitness industry. I will comfortably and easily give you a workout or what you're doing now. Ice Cream Fitness 5x5. There it is. I didn't write it. Wasn't mine. If it fits your macros, love it. Eat like that. I didn't work it out. Isn't mine. It's just, I love to give information that works, and the information that works tends to not be original. Original stuff is crazy. Anyway, you haven't lost any weight for the last 2 weeks, you've hit a plateau. That's because you're clean eating and not counting calories as you stated it might be. You need to work out how many calories you can eat per day under given macros. I have a calorie cap, a cutting calorie macro calculator here. use it, go for it. You'll experience gains. I've got an Excel coming that works it all out for you. It hasn't quite finished yet. I'm looking for some feedback from the people that are using the beta, but I might just put it up actually because I can't bother to do all those things. I'm so busy these days training people and the like. You asked how do you work out grams of food? You don't. MyFitnessPal tells you. Get MyFitnessPal. The link to my MyFitnessPal page is here. You can get it as an app for smartphones, like all smartphones. Everyone has a smartphone these days. If not, use the website right there. Don't work it out. Just take it off the back of the pack or MyFitnessPal it and it'll calculate it all for you. Don't use MyFitnessPal's suggestions of what to eat because they're useless, terror bad. But the way it tracks calories is flawless. You don't guess or anything like that. You just every ingredient you ever add to anything, whatever you're cooking, will tell you its macros, so you can use that. There you go. You've been eating the same thing: chicken, fish, eggs, veg, and salad. Do we need to change our food too, like we do with our training, to avoid muscle memory, or is eating the same thing all the time okay and will still contribute to weight loss? I could have done an email on that question alone. First of all, video here about changing routines. Changing routines is completely unnecessary for anyone that's on my channel, because anyone on my channel has nowhere near the strength base to need to do anything of that nature and have advanced progression techniques to change their gains. They just need to do the same thing over and over and over and over again until they're very strong and intermediate in terms of lifting. So that's a complete myth. The whole, I think I saw, what's it, P90X did the whole muscle confusion. If you do this to your muscles, it makes them confused and then you will feel more of a burn, and that, no, it's just terrible. What happens if you do a movement that your body's unfamiliar with? It will stress the connective tissue in a way that it hasn't been stressed before. It will lead to damage in the connective tissue, which you'll feel a soreness. It doesn't indicate anything other than you broke some connective tissue. It doesn't actually make you stronger. If you're sore, it is a fantastic indicator that you messed up previously. It means you didn't train often enough before, or you weren't training correctly before and now you are. Or you weren't training in a certain way before and now you are. Soreness is a useless indicator. Muscle memory is a different thing anyway, but the whole idea that you have to keep changing your routines to get maximal gains is utter foolishness. I would like to dispel that immediately. And do you need to keep changing your food? Actually, you probably should. Now, if you are the world's finest diet maker, you can make a diet that hits every single micronutrient flawlessly with no muscle deficiency. With no dietary deficiency. However, you probably can't. So it's best to mix up your diet so that you avoid because if you create a diet as someone that's not a professional, not a nutritionist, not a dietitian, and hasn't done all the studying, you will likely be missing maybe a little bit. Maybe you're at 70% of what you need your vitamin A to be. Maybe your omega-3s are just a little bit under whack. You eat the same thing every day for a year. That is called chronic deficiency. You have made your deficiency last for a very long time, whereas any day that you don't quite hit your omega-3 number, or you don't quite hit your iron, and the next day you eat twice your iron or something, it comes out in the wash. It doesn't matter if you miss your iron levels once a week, twice a month. That doesn't make any difference. But if you do it every single day, you may develop problems associated with nutrient deficiencies. So I would say to you, if you're an amateur at building a diet, as you obviously are, as you sent me an email, don't eat the same thing every day. Mix it up. Just make sure you stick to your macros. Hopefully that's been some help. Thank you for the email. bradleyjohnson@gmail.com. If you have any queries or theories or suggestions or anything, let me know. Other than that, like the video, like my Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, of course. Subscribe. Peace.